Hello, brilliant entrepreneur. It's Tash Corbin here, and welcome to day 4 of Tashmas. It's very exciting. It's been an amazing Tashmas so far. And today, as always, I have a little lesson for you as well as a very special offer. So today's lesson, I'm going to do my review of 2018 so far. And I've even got some, oh, that's not it, but I've got some special notes to go through it with you. And I wanted to make sure that I go through everything. So that's why I've jotted some things down. So I'm going to look at what are the big things that happened for me in 2018, what were the trends that I saw in the online business world, some of the lessons from the ladyposse, and some of the lessons that I've also learned for my level of business as well. And if you want to do a very structured, very delicious review of 2018 and use that to map out an amazing 2019, my offer for you today is the 2019 Heart and Soul Planner for Entrepreneurs. So stay tuned and listen along for that one if you would like to spend 2019 making sure that you have the right plan and you implement it in 2019. So let's start with the big stuff that happened in 2018 so far, because it has been a massive year. First and foremost, I got engaged in October, which was absolutely awesome. We started naming the months after Cashtober was just so successful in the ladyposse. We had Yesvember and December. So that's been a really amazing thing to see in the ladyposse, and I think that there's been a huge shift since October in the way that everyone's kind of shown up in the heart-centered group and in the online business world, which is super exciting for me to see. I ran 9 retreats in 2018, and I cannot believe that when I look back and see that I ran 9 retreats in the year. That is absolutely crazy. I am on track for over $600,000 in revenue this year, which is really awesome. And Honest Dave and I packed up our lives in August to spend 3 months overseas. And we've now gone semi-mobile, and we are also now moving into our unit in Hervey Bay for a little while. So big shifts happened in the Tash Corbin world, both personally and professionally. We also, in the ladyposse, celebrated 30,000 members in October, which was just mind-boggling. We had an amazing day with a 30K party, some awesome training sessions with speakers from the Heart-Centered Business Conference, and the beautiful auction that we ran throughout the day in October, which was super fun. And we also in May had the Heart-Centered Business Summit. It was the first time I'd ever run a summit before. I think it was one of the best summits ever. It was absolutely amazing. It was so good that we had demand after demand to run it again as an encore so that people could catch up with all the presentations, which we did, and that was also a beautiful success in July. So it's been a really cool year for free stuff. We ran 5 rounds of the 7-day fast money challenge. The latest round brought in over $1 million in one round, which was absolutely phenomenal. And also I ticked over in 2018 over $1 million in total revenue in my business since its inception in 2013. So my business has now generated over $1 million in income since it started. Super exciting little piece of news for me there as well. It has been the year for me of minimizing, systemizing, and simplifying in my business. I closed down Lean Startup School, Get With The Program, and now also Courses with Heart. And I've really stripped back my business to just the core areas of competence and excellence and genius for me. So I'm really moving more and more into my zone of genius in my business, which has been a really good feeling. And I've noticed that the less things I have to offer, the more money I make in my business. So that's a really good feeling as well. Big trends that I've seen online in 2018. A really big and interesting shift that I've seen out there in the not ladyposse online business world has been this coming home moment for webinars. So Jeff Walker with his product launch formula, as well as a number of big marketing gurus across the board have all in 2018 talked about the importance of connection when launching online courses and programs and marketing your services. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, you guys, like, get with the program. That's what we've been saying for years in the Lady Posse, and I've seen a big shift in the online business world towards more of those sorts of things. And we saw with Jeff Walker's launch late this year that he ran a live webinar series, and he, in his emails, he was like, and I'm even going to be there to answer your questions. Like, that's a big brand new thing. So I think a lot of the online business world are waking up to the fact that these like totally passive funnels, totally passive launches where you don't show up with your audience and you're not present with them, just are not converting in a way that's going to be working. So we've seen a big shift back to more connection in marketing from a lot of those big name marketers and launches out there, which has been really interesting to see. We've had some shifts in the Facebook algorithm. So in April 2018, Facebook announced some significant changes to the Facebook algorithm in relation to Facebook pages. There was a bit of a panic in the online business world about the fact that pages were going to get no organic reach anymore. But interestingly, those people who continued to focus on consistent quality content on their Facebook pages and really increased their focus on their Facebook page have been rewarded with increased reach and increased engagement on their Facebook pages. And so it's been a really fascinating thing. We've kind of seen the seas kind of split, and we've seen people who have used a very passive approach with their page and kind of let it go because the algorithm changes meant it was going to be hard, and it would be easier to use ads anyway. Those pages have really died off in terms of their reach. And then other pages that have really focused on organic reach and quality content and consistency have really benefited from that, because we're no longer competing with all of those dial-it-in marketers out there. Those people who genuinely are present to their audience and consistent on their Facebook pages are getting great reach and great organic reach of their pages, and that is being rewarded. So I think it's really, really awesome and really sexy. GDPR, everyone remember that? 2018, the introduction of new privacy legislation in the EU meant that a lot of people had to make significant changes to their privacy policies and to the way that they collected data from their audiences, and we've seen some big shifts in the way that Facebook also now operates with its pixels. Cookies have been affected, and deliverability of emails has actually improved for most systems because of that greater level of openness and that greater level of accountability when it comes to dealing with people's personal information, and therefore also using things like double opt-ins and affirmative actions for people subscribing to mailing lists. GDPR really came at a tough time for me, or the change in my email system came at a tough time for me in relation to GDPR. So I actually moved from ConvertKit to ActiveCampaign right when GDPR came in, and that meant that there was a bit of the first few emails that went out from my ActiveCampaign account to my audience had high unsubscribe rates, because I was saying to people, look, here's my new privacy policy, here's what I commit to doing to you. I did little vows, and I like, do you take me to be your marketing person? And it was really awesome, but I encouraged people to unsubscribe in those emails, and I think because of that, my emails have been treated as like people don't want to receive them, because I had such giant unsubscribe. I mean, when I say giant, it was like 2%, but I had big unsubscribe rates as a result of sending out those emails, and they were the first 3 emails that I sent from ActiveCampaign. So I have faced a lot of issues with deliverability of emails, and I really need to look at my email service provider and like all of the back-end tech stuff in my business now as part of my movement to simplify. But for a lot of people, it actually worked out for the best, and it made things a lot better in terms of their emails. And then I would say the hottest word in the Lady Posse and on my webinars and in in my programs this year, and the hottest name this year has definitely been Udemy. So it really all triggered off with Sal Jade's presentation at the Heart Centered Business Summit in May. Can you believe that was May? When Sal did a presentation in the summit on using Udemy to grow your business and using it as part of your business strategy. I have since worked with 5 VIPs on their Udemy strategy and helped quite a number of people get ready for Udemy as well. We've got a lot of women in the Lady Posse who are stepping into selling courses on Udemy as part of their business strategy in 2019. In fact, I've partnered up with Sal Jade and Miriam Castilla to run a retreat in Bali in May, getting everything set up to be a Udemy bestseller and use it as part of your business strategy. And so I think it's going to be a trend that continues into 2019. My first Udemy course goes out in January. I know Sal and Miriam are doing a joint course that's coming out next year as well. So there's a lot of traction happening in the Udemy space, and using it as a very specific business strategy. So not as a core income generator in your business, but actually as a tripwire in your business. And I'm going to be sharing more about that strategy once I've implemented it myself for my business, and also drawing upon the resources of our Udemy experts. And I would put Sal Jade up there with the best of them. She has almost, I think now she has over 20,000 individual students on Udemy who've bought over 100,000 courses from her. So she is really, for me, one of those real leaders in this space, and someone that we can all learn from and benefit from her expertise. And I plan on bringing that to the fore even further. In number 3, things, lady posse lessons, things that I've seen people really struggle with, or big lessons that I've seen unfold in 2018. I did see quite a lot of women in the heart-centered community and in the lady posse get sucked back into the masculine model of business in 2018. It was really interesting to see their journeys. Quite a bit of burnout amongst the lady posse, despite me saying, focus on one thing, stop burning yourself out, put your prices up, that's not how you do it. But, you know, I think we all need to go through that lesson sometimes of experiencing what it's like to fall into that masculine dominated energy. And then, you know, we need to test where the boundary is so that we can bring it back to where we really want to be operating from. So, you know, I've been through that lesson. I think most people have been through that lesson now. It's been a big year for people getting drawn back into that need to either work really hard or burn themselves out with lots of different things instead of focusing down on the one thing. But also falling into, like getting sucked into that feeling of, oh, this isn't good enough, my business isn't good enough. So many people I've seen doing reviews of 2018 and tallying up their income for the year and tallying up their results for the year have made the comment like, I spent the whole year feeling like I wasn't doing good enough, but now upon reflection, my business has tripled in the last year. Why was I so freaked out? And I think a lot of that comes from the messaging that we receive in the online business world. There are so many gurus out there, there are so many people out there saying, if it's not passive income, it doesn't count. And you need to be earning $20,000 a month, $30,000 a month consistently, or your launches aren't 6 figures. What are you doing? And making us, you know, getting us into that questioning ourselves about whether we've got it all sorted. And our default position is to go, oh, I'm missing something, or I need to work on something, or something's not good enough. And so I think that there's been a lot more people this year who've reached out to me to say, do you think I really need to do that launch thing? Or do you think oh my gosh, I don't have a podcast yet. What should I do? Or, oh, I've seen this thing and it's for a very limited time and it's 70% off and da da da. And I didn't have that many panicked messages and emails last year, 2017. 2016, I feel like there's been a bit of a resurgence of that. And I also think there has been a lot more female marketing specialists out there, and a lot more people who are, you know, use the words like feminine and diva and luxury and fempreneur and feminist and all this kind of stuff, but they're still using very masculine oriented strategies, but it's being masked through the lens of them saying like they're talking the talk, but they're not actually walking the walk. And so there has been, I've just seen a lot of people have sent me messages. We've had a lot of conversations in the academy and in the takeoff program and on webinars where people are like, oh my gosh, Tash, I got sucked into another $2,000 thing. Why did I do that? Or I just signed up to be a VIP with someone for a whole year. Why did I make that commitment and invest all of that money with that person? I'm 3 months in and I'm just not getting results. It's not the thing that I thought it was going to be. Or quite a few people have bought courses and programs in a launch where the person selling it has said, the price is doubling, it will never be repeated. And they've bought the course knowing that they're not ready for it, but that they're going to hoard it for later. Like, oh, well, the price is doubling and I know that I'm eventually going to do it. So I'll buy it now and I'll do it later. And then it's been closed down, or the live call support has been withdrawn, or there's no more live rounds of that for another year, or no more live rounds of that forever, or I'm not working this space as my core business anymore, but the course is still yours and you can keep doing it. I'm just not going to be as present with you, or I've got this new shiny thing that I'm working on now, so you guys are on your own. And so, I think that that's a big lady posse lesson, is only invest in something when you're ready to actually implement it and you're going to get the return on investment quickly. And just because someone's talking about feminine business, feminine sales strategies, quiet business, femme business, diva things, just because they're using words that are very feminine oriented doesn't mean they're using strategies or teaching strategies that are actually genuine feminine business model, feminine energy, balanced. And so I think that that's something, if I could shout something from the rooftops every single week, it would be, don't buy this blah blah that's being promoted right now, because that's actually, you're not ready for it, or it's actually not what you think it is. Or I would shout from the rooftops, like, don't buy things that you're not ready for yet. You don't need to buy all the things in order to be successful. Just do it. Just implement. If you didn't implement that thing, what makes you think you're going to implement that one? These sorts of things. A lot of over-investment in businesses this year, which is, it's a really tough thing to navigate. I've done it. Like, I still do it. I still will watch a video of someone, and then at the end of it, I'm like, why do I feel so upset? Why is my business not successful? And I realize that it's just a sales strategy. It's a technique that they're using on me, and everything is going to be okay. And I always think like, well, what's going to happen to the rest of the lady posse when they see this? I just want to protect my posse. So a big lesson, I think, coming up for the lady posse. And that really relates to the next one, which is not buying 11 billion things. You do not need a specialist in 15 different areas to be able to create that significant growth and results in your business. Focus on one thing at a time. Over and over again, I say this, and I say it because I need to hear it as much as everyone else needs to hear it. But in a little review Facebook Live that I did at the end of November, we were having a bit of a conversation in the chat box afterwards, and a few people, I challenged them to go and look at how many courses or programs they'd purchased this year, and also work with specialists and single sessions and VIP things. And for most people, it was over 30 different people that they had purchased from this year. And we know too many cooks spoil the broth. And a lot of that is because you buy something from someone and then you don't implement it effectively and fully, and then you go and look for the next shiny object to fix things for you. So I think that's a big lesson I'll even be carrying into 2019 as well, is to really be discerning about who I purchase from and focus on one thing at a time. The simplicity message has definitely been huge in 2018. I don't know how many courses, programs, books, new things that we have stopped from being released by people who already had things that they needed to stay focused on and really nail. I've seen a lot of people consolidating 3 or 4 different courses into one holistic program. It's been really amazing to see. That's something that I also did with the Heart Centered Business Academy and Courses with Heart this year. Initially, I put Get With The Program into Courses with Heart, and then I put Courses with Heart and Get With The Program into the Academy. So now the Academy is like the one-stop shop space for everyone who's beyond startup. And I even have plans to go even more simple in 2018. And I know many women in the Lady Posse are the same. And then I think the big lesson from my tour, I didn't even talk about the fact I went on tour in 2018, but I think one of the big lessons from my tour was when I presented the stages of business, so many people had skipped scale and systemize. And so even on the 30K member party, on the Heart Centered Business Summit, on my nailing the scale in 2018, a lot of my trainings, a lot of the things that I talked about, as well as what we saw from Lady Posse, the lesson was you need to systemize and scale much, much quicker and more effectively than most people do in their business journey. And the sooner you scale and systemize, the easier your business becomes. And so that was a really big one. Don't skip the scale and systemize stuff and keep fighting fires in your business. You're making your business really hard and you're training it to need you for 60 hours a week. That's not the business that we're wanting to grow. So that was a big lesson that I saw amongst a lot of the Lady Posse in 2018. And I think, as a leader in this space, I modeled the wrong behaviors. I did exactly the same thing. In 2014, I launched 3 different new offerings, just my second year of business, and I didn't have a consistent newsletter going out every week. I wasn't consistently blogging. I didn't have an automated onboarding sequence for my emails. I didn't have a consistent way of marketing and a scalable way of reaching new people in my business. It was all a manual, Tash-centric process. And so I skipped it as well. It's, do what I say, not what I do. I make mistakes so that you don't have to. But it's been really beautiful for me to see so many women in the Heart-Centered group and so many women in the online business world recognizing the importance of scaling and systemizing and starting to really prioritize getting that stuff sorted out. So it's been really awesome. Now, I've also got some lessons from me to share with you as well, and like what I've seen in my own business. But before I jump into that, the thing that I want to celebrate most about 2018 is that I have had more of my clients have 5-figure months in this year than in the years before, and to be able to see so many women tip over 6 figures in their businesses this year, consistently have 10K or better months, to have my first clients who had their first $30,000 month, their first $40,000 month, their first $50,000 month. For me, I really feel that in 2018, my business and the results that I achieve with my clients has hit the trajectory that I really have been aiming for all this time. I share that my vision for my business is to fill the Forbes 500 list with more women than men, and to really support entrepreneurial women to achieve that big financial reward for the work that they do, because in the hands of women, money will change the world for the better. And it's happening. As I said, the last round of the 7-day Fast Money Challenge, we brought in a combined total of over $1 million into the Lady Posse. $1 million of revenue in the hands of women. For me, that is like, we are changing the world already, and that just feels like so uplifting for me. And 2019, we're going next level, baby. So my income goal for 2019 is $1 million in revenue. And my goal for my clients is to help over 30 women hit 200K plus in their businesses in 2019. So, for me, the success of my business is nothing compared to the success of my clients. That's where my juice comes from. That's where my energy comes from. That's what lights me up. That's my vision. I'm not interested in making $1 million in my business by, having some random thing that's not making the world a better place and not serving others. For me, it's really about helping other women and the rising tide lifts all ships thing. And so I'm really excited to see where we get with our financial results in 2019. So I had 3 VIP clients this year hit $200,000 in income, which was absolutely awesome. But next year we are going to go way bigger. We're going to have so many more. And we might even see, a couple of people get to the 300K mark, which would be super spectacular. Okay, so my lessons in my business, something that I'm very good at in the marketing in my business and growing my business is understanding that everything's an experiment and it takes time, and there's incremental improvements and growth. That's something that we need to focus on. And it's been really interesting because in 2018, I wanted to do a lot of overhauling the back end of my business, my team, the support structure that I have, my website, my content process, all the systems and those sorts of things. And it's really interesting that I didn't have the same patience that I have for business growth as I did for business systemizing. And so for me, the big lesson from 2018 is sorting things out in the back end also is an experiment, and it takes time, and you need to work out how things are going to work for you. And so I think that there will still be a lot more shuffling behind the scenes in my business. There'll be another restructure of my team. I'm looking at also a shift in the systems that I use and the way that we're working. And it's getting better and better as we go. But it's so fascinating to me that I was so impatient, it needs to be perfect now. We made the decision we're going to change it. Let's change it today. And yet I'm so patient with other areas of my business. So that was a really big lesson in 2018. Staying in my zone of genius, that is definitely a big one. I think that I've really been in my zone of genius much more in 2018 and looking forward to stepping into it even more in 2019. Less offers equal more money. I talked about that one already. I need a manager. I need someone to manage me in my business, and I hired the fabulous Gemma as my online business manager in the middle of 2018, and that's been such a wonderful journey so far. I'm not sure what shape that will take in 2019, where Gemma and I are constantly talking about how we can continue to improve that and what shape what I really need in an ongoing basis in my business. And we will continue refining and sorting all of that out in 2019. And also I made a decision that conference needs a manager. So I've actually employed someone to be the project manager for the Heart Centered Business Conference so that it gets the time and space and energy that it really deserves, because conference will be the premier business women's conference around the worldwide, in the coming years. And in order for me to achieve that vision, it really does need some dedicated time and energy to it. So I'm bringing on a dedicated conference manager. One of the other big lessons for me in 2018 was around that commitment to the time that I work in my business. So I made a goal of working 20 hours a week or less in my business. And the more that I committed to that, the more I looked after myself. I've taken up swimming again this year. And I was swimming on average 5 kilometers a week. And we'll continue to do that in 2019. And all of that just fed into my business running itself more effectively and being more effective and me being more efficient. And I talk about this all the time. Parkinson's law, a project or task will expand to the amount of time that you give it. So 2018 for me has also been a year of not having a lot of time to work on my business, and that being a good thing, and having a lot of time dedicated to looking after my health and well-being, spending time with family, traveling, living a life of adventure, walking along the beach. I've read more books in 2018 than I did in probably 2013 to 17 combined. I've listened to an Audible audiobook every fortnight this entire year. And that's been really beautiful for me as well, because I am such a lifelong learner. I always want to be absorbing new things. When I'm learning new things every day, I know I bring my best to the table, which has been super exciting, and I will definitely be continuing that into 2019. So let's close this one up. That is my review of 2018 so far. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Tashmas. Now, your super special offer for today, day 4, is if you would like to actually spend 2019 with me implementing the best business plan that you can set up for yourself, I'm selling the 2019 Heart and Soul Business Planning System. And even though Early Bird has ended, in Tashmas, I have a special coupon code that will get you $50 off the Heart and Soul Planning System. So I want to explain what the Heart and Soul Planning System is, because it's not just a planner. In previous years, what I've done is I've sold the planner for $49, and then the posted one, with the posted one, an extra $25, $30. And then I've sold quarterly planning workshops. And the quarterly planning workshops used to be $97 each. So in order to have all of your planning sorted for the year, it would have been around $470, $480 if you were buying the physical planner. If you were to, and that was just having one physical planner. If you were to do the digital system, it was like $450 to spend the year with me. What I've done this year is, rather than selling all of those things separately, I've brought them all together and I'm selling them as the Heart and Soul Planning System. And so this Heart and Soul Planning System is it's the exact way that I'm now managing my business behind the scenes, including the year-long business planning and goal setting, also managing the week-to-week priorities and tasks in my business, as well as managing my team and making sure that the entire team are across what it is that we're doing. And I'm even also selling my day-to-day self-management system as well. So what I've done is I've brought that all together. It's called the 2019 Heart and Soul Planning System, and it's normally $295 to get the whole digital system for the year. But if you use the coupon code TASHMAS, you can get $50 off just for the next 8 days until the end of Tashmas. So if you use the coupon code Tashmas, you can get it for $50 off, and you can upgrade to a physical system, so the print version of everything, for just $100 plus postage. So I'm going to explain to you the entire Heart and Soul Planning System, because I think it's important to explain how the system works and how comprehensive it is, because I have a feeling that there are going to be a lot of people in mid-January who are like, oh, I see everyone talking about what they're doing now and I get it, and I wish that I had bought that planning system. And we have very limited space for this one, so I want to make sure that if it is something that's going to work for you, that you make sure that you jump in and grab it. So first and foremost, there's the digital version and then there's the print upgrade. So let's talk about the digital version. So in the digital version of the Heart and Soul Planning System, you get the 2019 planner as a PDF. It's fillable online, so you can just use it on your computer, and it's also printable, so you can print it out and fill in the planning system. In that planner, it has the review of 2018, goal setting for 2019, a business analysis and a current state analysis, as well as a detailed business plan and looking at both your front-facing and also behind the scenes in your business for 2019. So that's the year-long focus, and you get that as part of the digital system. And you also, in the digital system, will get my quarterly Excel template, which is what I use for implementing that yearly plan. So what we see for a lot of people in business is they write this beautiful yearly plan, they might even have it on their desk with them, but they don't necessarily refer back to it, and it's not something you can use on a day. You don't sit down at your computer and open up your yearly plan to work out what you're doing today. You need something that's like a ready reference, so you know what your priorities are on a week-to-week basis, so that you sit down at your desk, to do your work, and you know exactly what you need to do that day. So in the digital version of the planning system, you get both the PDF year-long planner as well as the quarterly implementation planner, and you also get a workshop in which we do the yearly planner together. That's on the 31st of December, and you'll get the recording of that as well, plus 4 quarterly planning workshops where we do your implementation plan together as well. So it's a complete system in which we bring you back every single quarter to make sure that you review your yearly plan and your goals. We see where you're on track. We see where things may have fallen behind. And we really set you up for a 90-day sprint where you get the most done in the most effective and efficient way possible. And it's the strategic decisions that you make about what you're going to do in that quarterly planner that will really ensure that you are achieving your big business goals. So that's the digital planning system. Now, if you're a pen and paper gal like me and you would like to get the print upgrade, so the print upgrade is a really sexy little upgrade this year, and we're just selling the print upgrade at cost. So you get quite a big package bundle of things when we send you out the print upgrade. That's $100 plus postage. The print upgrade, we send you out the yearly planner printed, so you get that as well. So you get all of the things in the digital, plus we send you out the yearly planner printed. But we also send you out this beautiful daily self-management kit. And that is this. So you get this beautiful planner cover, which I've just bent all out of shape and crazy pulling things in and out of today. So I'll just put that back together. So you get this beautiful planner cover in this beautiful color. And it's made of polyurethane and canvas. And it has a pencil case on the cover. Isn't that pretty? And then on the inside, it has these beautiful inserts. So this one that's in here at the moment is actually just plain lined pages. But what we're going to do is we're going to be sending out to you, the insert is going to be a quarterly planning book. And what it will have is when you open each day, it's like a day planner. So it will have your day planner on the left-hand side with what are your important activities today, and it will have spaces for things like mantra, money tracking at the bottom, or your tracking at the bottom, and it'll come with a little training on what you can use those for. And then on this side, it has a notes page with the date space up the top. So this is the exact way that I run my business and manage my business. And so many people say to me, oh, I'm a pen and paper person, so, you know, these digital planning things don't work for me. And they'll buy something like a diary or, you know, a planner that has like the 1st of January, 2nd of January, 3rd of January, but they use it like it's like a calendar, and it's not actually supporting their business. There's a lot of double handling. Things are a little crazy, and we are living in a digital world, ladies. So what I've done is I've pulled together this beautiful system, and you get this cover as well as 4 of these inserts for your planner. So that's an entire year of having a beautiful day planner as well as the physical year planner and the Excel spreadsheet for the quarter to a page, which you can share with your team, and you can set up on Google Sheets so that it's accessible by all the members of your team. Like, it's a super sexy system. So basically, in a nutshell, whether you buy the digital system or you buy the print upgrade, you will have this perfectly curated planning and implementation process that will ensure that you stay on track for the year and that you get the things done that you know you need to get done in your business to succeed. And it's got enough space in there for you to take notes working with your clients if you need to. You can use that extra page as a journaling page each day. You can use that page to jot down ideas and do brainstorming. And if you need to use more than one page to a day, because it's dateless, you pop the date in yourself, you actually can use several pages to a day if you want to. If you have having a particularly effective and productive and busy day, which is something that I can sometimes do, I want to like actually do a few pages of things, you can do that because it's such a flexible system with the day planner as well. So all of the details of the Heart and Soul planning system are at tashcorbin.com/planner. And once you've purchased the digital planner, using the coupon code Tashmas, get your $50 off, you'll then be invited to upgrade to the print version if that's something that you would like to do. Now, if you have any questions about the planning system, please do email us. It's support@tashcorbin.com so that we can answer your questions. Because I know that it's a big leap for people to jump from paying, $20, $30, $50, it's usually about $50 these days, for just a planner, to investing more, $245 with the discount for the entire system. But ultimately, it's going to be something that you're being supported throughout the entire year, which is the big difference between the planning system that I am selling and some of those standalone planners where you're just like, here, do it, and then you don't actually use it effectively. So I am a total business planning geek. I actually have formal qualifications in business and strategic planning and was a business and strategic planning consultant, as well as before that I was the senior planning officer when I worked in the government as well. So this is based on best practice business planning and also human behavior. So business planning when you're in the corporate world is very different to business planning when you're an entrepreneur, because entrepreneur requires self-management, and this system is built with that in mind. So creating a process and a system that's going to help you be a better self-manager, as well as be very equipped every time you sit down to work in your business to know exactly what you need to do and what you need to focus on, which is the whole purpose of planning in the first place. I think a lot of people forget the purpose of having a business plan is so you know what to do each day. And that is exactly what this system will do for you. Thank you so much once again for joining me for day 4 of Tashmas. I know that it's been a slightly longer episode, but we had lots to get through. Until next time, beautiful lady, tomorrow, day 5, I cannot wait to see you shine. And it's a big love from me, and bye for now.